How Marianne Faithfull used her millions from music and acting before death. Marianne Faithfull, the British singer, songwriter, and actress, left an indelible mark on music, fashion, and film. Rising to fame in the 1960s, she not only built a career spanning 6 decades but also amassed considerable wealth. Before her passing at 78, she had earned millions from her work in pop music and acting. However, unlike many celebrities who squander their fortunes on frivolous luxuries, Faithfull's financial journey was a complex and fascinating one. Her life was marked by opulence, hardship, and a deep investment in artistic and humanitarian pursuits. Early wealth, the swinging 60s and the Rolling Stones' influence. Faithfull's career skyrocketed after she recorded As Tears Go By, a song written by Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Andrew Loog Oldham. With instant success came financial rewards. She enjoyed the lifestyle of a 1960s pop sensation, indulging in couture fashion, expensive jewelry, and luxurious travel. As Mick Jagger's girlfriend, she was immersed in the high society of London, rubbing shoulders with the Beatles, Andy Warhol, and Jean-Luc Godard. Her early wealth was spent on living the dream, attending exclusive parties, purchasing designer clothing, and traveling across Europe with rock royalty. Despite the glamour, Faithfull's earnings were often managed by music industry executives, leaving her with less control over her finances than one might expect. In retrospect, her early years saw a mix of indulgence and exploitation. While she was making money, she was also being taken advantage of in an era where artists rarely understood the full extent of their financial worth. Dark times, addiction, homelessness, and financial ruin. By the early 1970s, Faithfull's life took a sharp turn. Struggling with drug addiction, she found herself homeless and destitute on the streets of Soho. Her once considerable earnings from music and acting dwindled, spent on heroin and survival. The wealth she had accumulated in her youth evaporated as record deals dried up, and personal struggles overtook her career. During this period, much of her money was lost to addiction, unreliable financial management, and sheer misfortune. Despite hitting rock bottom, Faithfull retained a small network of friends who occasionally provided financial aid. However, rather than focusing on regaining her wealth, she was in survival mode, prioritizing her addiction over stability. By the late 1970s, many had written her off as another tragic figure swallowed by the excesses of the music industry. Comeback and smart investments. The Broken English era. Faithfull's 1979 album Broken English marked one of the most spectacular comebacks in rock history. The album was a commercial and critical success, reviving her career and replenishing her finances. With this newfound wealth, she made smarter financial decisions. Having learned from past mistakes, she took greater control of her earnings, reinvesting in her music, securing better record deals, and ensuring she had a steady income stream. Instead of wasting her fortune on extravagance, Faithfull made deliberate financial moves. She invested in property, purchasing a modest but stylish home in Paris, where she lived for many years. Unlike other rock stars who bought massive estates, Faithfull opted for comfort and security, understanding that stability was more important than grandiosity. She also built a solid financial foundation by diversifying her income. In addition to album sales and live performances, she explored voiceover work, film roles, and collaborations with younger artists like Metallica and Nick Cave, ensuring that royalties and licensing deals provided her with a steady cash flow. Supporting the arts and humanitarian causes. Faithfull's wealth wasn't just for personal gain. She was deeply invested in supporting the arts and humanitarian causes. She often donated to charities focused on addiction recovery, mental health, and women's rights, all causes close to her heart. She knew firsthand how devastating addiction could be, and she worked to help those facing similar struggles. Additionally, Faithfull supported emerging artists, particularly female musicians struggling to break into the industry. She was known for funding independent projects and offering mentorship, ensuring that the next generation of musicians had better opportunities than she did in her early years. She also helped fund small theater productions and independent films, championing art that was outside the mainstream. Late life comfort and legacy planning. As she aged, Faithfull ensured her financial stability, balancing her love of art with pragmatic investments. While she no longer sought the rockstar lifestyle, she still indulged in personal passions. She maintained a modest yet stylish Parisian apartment filled with art, literature, and memorabilia from her illustrious career. She loved collecting rare books and antiques, spending wisely on items that held historical and sentimental value. One of her most notable financial decisions was securing her legacy. Unlike many artists who die without a will, leaving their estates in legal turmoil, Faithfull was meticulous about her financial planning. She ensured that her son, Nicholas Dunbar, and other beneficiaries were taken care of. She also established trusts for charitable causes, ensuring that even after her death, her money would support addiction recovery programs, women's shelters, and independent artists. Final years. A quiet but meaningful life. Faithfull's later years were marked by health challenges, including a battle with COVID-19, which left her with long-term complications. Despite this, she continued to make music, write, and engage in philanthropic efforts. She was not interested in a flashy lifestyle. Instead, she preferred meaningful experiences, private concerts, intimate gatherings with friends, and quiet moments of reflection. She spent her money ensuring comfort in her final years, hiring private caregivers, receiving the best medical treatment, and living in a secure environment where she could focus on creativity. While she could have indulged in excessive wealth displays, Faithfull chose to spend her last years immersed in art, music, and intellectual pursuits, embodying the essence of an artist who lived for her craft rather than for material wealth. Conclusion. Marianne Faithfull's financial journey was as dramatic as her life, marked by highs of wealth and lows of near destitution. However, in the end, she mastered her finances, using her millions wisely. She ensured her security, supported the causes she believed in, and left behind a legacy that extended beyond music and film. Her story is not just one of talent and survival, but also of financial resilience, proving that even in an industry notorious for financial ruin, one can learn, adapt, and leave a lasting impact.